Welcome to the deep dive. Let me just start by asking you something, because we get this question all the time. Have you ever had one of those, those really beautiful awakened moments?
Oh, yeah.
You feel centered, you know your purpose, everything is just crystal clear. You've done the work, you've read the books, and you think, okay, I finally got this.
And then life happens.
Whim! Life happens. A brutal email, a sudden bill you weren't expecting, a tense conversation, and you just collapse. Right back into stress, worry, and that old familiar fear.
It is the ultimate spiritual whiplash, and it makes you feel like you're failing, or worse, that you're actually going backward.
Right. Am I just lost?
But
But the thing is, you're probably not flawed and you're not lost. The problem is usually much simpler.
you don't have a map.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're navigating this really complex internal terrain with no idea where you actually are. So of course you get stuck. Today we're pulling out that map,
We're going to dive deep into what the sources call the human frequency spectrum.
or as we call it, the 7-level human frequency map.
And our mission here is to get really practical. We want to give you a framework to honestly assess where you are right now, not where you wish you were, and then give you clear, actionable steps to move up stably.
This isn't about some fleeting motivational high. This is about building a solid architecture for your life.
That's the goal.
Okay, so let's start at the foundation. We have to define frequency. It can sound a little out there.
It can sound very new age, but the way we're looking at it is really rooted in science and psychology. It's about your physiology.
So what's the definition we're working with?
It's the quality of energy you use to perceive life. And that quality isn't some vague idea. You can measure it in your body. It all comes down to your nervous system.
I always come back to the radio analogy. It just clicks for me. If your frequency is low, you're tuned into a station that's all static.
That's a perfect analogy. That static is the sound of your nervous system stuck in survival mode. It's in a state of protection.
So all it's looking for is, what? Threats.
Exactly. Your perception just narrows. All you can see are problems, potential dangers, and things to be afraid of. You're operating from that ancient reactive part of your brain.
And a high frequency.
That's the crystal clear signal. The music comes through perfectly. And that feeling, fundamentally, is the feeling of being safe.
Right.
When your body feels safe, that powerful prefrontal cortex, your rational mind, comes online. And then your decisions start coming from a place of wisdom, not just raw fear.
I think this is where people get tripped up, though. They hear high frequency, and they think it means you have to be, positive vibes only 24/7.
Which is completely unrealistic and exhausting.
Totally.
The real goal of achieving a higher frequency isn't constant happiness, it's high resilience.
Resilience. Okay, unpack that.
It's the ability to get knocked down by life, to feel the anger, the disappointment, and then get back to your center quickly. It's about how fast you rebound.
So you're not avoiding the chaos. You're just spending less time being controlled by it.
Precisely. The goal is building a stable foundation, not chasing a temporary high.
Okay, so let's get into the map itself, the 7 levels.
And before we do, I just want to say to everyone listening, give yourself a break here. Don't judge where you think you are on this map. Just observe. This is just information.
It's a diagnostic tool, not a report card.
Exactly.
Let's start at the bottom. The basement. Level 1, survival mode. What are the signs you're living there?
It's very physical, a constant tension in your shoulders or your jaw that you can't seem to release, chronic stress.
The same worries over and over again.
Yes, that loop of repetitive worry. You're tired all the time, but your sleep is restless. You wake up feeling like you've been in a fight.
And the driving force behind every decision is just fear.
Pure fear. Fear of loss, fear of failure, fear of being rejected.
So if you're there, what's the mission?
It's simple and it's not mental, it's physical. The mission is safety first. You have to convince your body that the tiger is not actually chasing you.
Okay, let's get actionable. How do you do that?
2 things that work almost instantly. First, grounding. Literally, take your shoes off and stand on grass or dirt for 2 minutes. That physical connection sends a signal to your ancient brain that you are stable and supported.
It's hard to feel like you're in immediate danger when your feet are on the ground.
It really is. Second, long exhalations. Breathe in normally, but make your exhale last longer. This manually flips the switch to your parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest system. It tells your body the threat has passed.
And I guess cutting out the constant stream of negative news and social media drama.
You have to. Your nervous system can't tell the difference between a threat on Twitter and a threat in your living room. It all feels the same.
Okay, so once the body starts to feel a little safer, People often jump from that physical tension right into, well, a different kind of chaos.
They do. Welcome to level 2, emotional reactivity.
Emotional roller coaster.
Exactly. The physical tension hasn't vanished, it's just morphed into emotional chaos. You have a hair trigger temper, someone says something slightly critical, and you're thinking about it for 3 days straight.
Oh, yeah. And so much guilt, so much self-blame.
Constantly. And the real risk here is the damage you do to your relationships. You say things you don't mean, you react impulsively, and then you're left with this pile of regret.
So what's the mission at level 2?
To create space. You have to learn to separate the feeling from yourself. You are not your anger, you are the one observing the anger.
How do you do that in the heat of the moment?
We teach a simple technique, stop, breathe, name. The second you feel that wave of emotion rising, you literally stop what you're doing, take one deep breath, and then you label the emotion.
Just put a name to it.
Just name it silently to yourself. This is frustration. Or, okay, I feel intense disappointment right now.
Why does that work so well?
Because naming something requires language, and that activates your prefrontal cortex.
The rational brain.
The rational brain. It immediately pulls you out of the purely reactive state. It gives you that half second of choice, and you can practice saying, let me think about that and get back to you.
That pause.
Yeah.
It's everything. And if you practice that pause enough, you start to find yourself at the pivot point.
Yes. Level 3. Clarity and choice.
This is the gateway, isn't it?
It's the true gateway. You start to stabilize. External drama doesn't hook you as easily. You start to really know what's right and wrong for you.
And the big one, you can say no without feeling like you've committed a terrible crime.
That crippling guilt from level 2 starts to fade. But there's a risk here.
What's the risk at level 3?
Instability. It's so easy to fall back into level 2. A stressful week at work, a fight with your partner, and suddenly you're right back on that emotional roller coaster.
So the mission isn't to have some huge spiritual breakthrough.
Not at all. The mission is just one word: consistency.
Okay, so what's the how-to for building consistency?
You pick one tiny positive behavior.
Yeah.
And you do it every single day for at least 2 weeks. And I mean tiny.
Like what?
Like drinking a full glass of water the second you wake up. Or sitting in silence for just 5 minutes before you look at your phone. It has to be so small you can't fail.
You're not trying to change your life overnight. You're just proving to your nervous system that you can be reliable.
You're building a stable baseline. Discipline equals safety. Once that's in place, things really start to shift.
And you rise to level 4, heart-aligned living.
The symptoms here are really beautiful. Your relationships just sort of clean themselves up.
What do you mean by that?
The draining, incompatible people just naturally fade away. Your clarity and boundaries make it uncomfortable for them. You start accepting reality without all the drama. Your heart is gentle, but your boundaries are firm.
See, I think some people hear boundaries and they think it's selfish or cold.
That's a level 2 fear. At level 4, you understand that true connection requires strong boundaries. They're not to keep people out, they're to keep your own energy safe inside.
So what's the mission?
Love plus boundaries. They have to go together.
And the practical application?
There's a simple rule. If it's not clear, I won't invest more. Stop pouring your precious energy into confusing jobs or ambiguous relationships.
And for your core relationships?
A 3-word standard: respect, sincerity, safety. If one of those is missing, you step back. No drama, just step back.
When that personal world is stable, the energy has to go somewhere.
It expands outward. Which brings us to level 5, purpose and service.
This is when you start feeling that your life is about more than just you. You have this deep desire to contribute, to help.
It's a wonderful place to be, but it hides a huge trap.
Burnout.
Massive burnout. This is the helper who ties their entire self-worth to how much they can give. They're trying to give light from an empty lamp.
So ironically, the mission at the service level is to serve yourself first.
It has to be. The how-to is non-negotiable. You must take guilt-free recharge days. You have to understand that self-care is a duty, not a selfish act. It's what allows you to serve sustainably.
Makes sense. From that external service, the journey turns inward again.
To level 6, higher self-coherence.
What does that look like?
Your decisions become incredibly sharp. They're not driven by long, logical pro-con lists. They're driven by a deep, clear intuition, a kind of inner knowing.
So the mental chatter quiets down.
It gets much quieter. And you become this anchor of peace, even if the world around you is chaotic. But there's a risk here too,
Even this high up.
especially this high up. The risk is spiritual ego.
The belief that you're more evolved than everyone else.
Exactly. The feeling of being superior. It's the fastest way to fall right back down the map.
So the mission is humble coherence and the action.
You use what we call the soul compass. In any situation, you ask, what is the most right thing to do now? Not the easiest, but the most right.
And then you have to act on it.
Within 24 hours, even a tiny step. If you wait, the ego and the analytical mind jump back in and cloud that clarity.
And that brings us to the peak, level 7.
Unity awareness.
Describe that.
It's the state of seeing the deep interconnectedness of everything. All that inner conflict just dissolves. What's left is a profound sense of compassion and peace. You operate in the world without being attached to the results.
That's a lot to take in. I know people listening are probably thinking, okay, I felt like I was at level 4 this morning, but after my commute, I'm a hard level 2.
And that's normal. The map is fluid. We all move up and down. That's why we need a quick way to check in.
A self-assessment.
Exactly. 4 quick questions and be really honest with yourself.
Okay, let's hear them.
1, are your recent big decisions based on fear, as in avoiding a bad outcome, or on truth and stability, moving toward what you know is right?
Number 2.
How quickly do you get back to calm after a real setback? An argument, a stressful event? Are we talking minutes, hours, or is it days?
That's a big one. Okay, 3.
Do you have clear boundaries? Can you actually say no without a long-winded explanation? Or do you still find yourself saying yes to avoid conflict?
And the last one.
Are you practicing those small, good habits for yourself daily, like we talked about for level 3? Or are you consistently inconsistent?
Okay, so you ask yourself those questions. How do you read the results?
It's pretty straightforward. If your answers are fear-driven and slow to calm, you're operating mainly from level 1 or 2. Your main job is physical safety and creating emotional space.
And if you're starting to get more stable,
If setbacks only knock you off for a few minutes and you're building those small daily disciplines, you are solidly entering level 3. You're on the right track.
okay.
If you have clear boundaries and healthy relationships, you're standing strong at level 4.
And if your big decisions are coming from a place of wisdom and you feel a general sense of peace,
You're operating in that level 5 to 6 zone.
now this is crucial. The golden rules for actually moving up this map.
Yeah.
Because this is where everyone gets it wrong.
They do. Rule number 1 is the most important. Move step by step.
You can't just jump from level 1 anxiety to level 5 purpose in an afternoon.
You can't. Your nervous system will freak out. It sees a massive leap like that as a shock, a threat, and it will pull you right back down. You have to climb gradually and let your system get used to the new baseline.
Rule 2, stability over height.
Yes. Anyone can feel like a Zen master on a week-long retreat. The real test is maintaining level 3 or 4 stability on a chaotic Monday morning. That's true mastery.
That stable base is more valuable than a fleeting peak experience.
Infinitely more valuable. And finally, rule 3, return to the base.
What does that mean?
When you are under major stress, you're sick, you're exhausted, you're going through a crisis, forget all the high-level philosophy. Immediately return to level 1 care.
Grounding, breathing, sleep, good food.
The absolute basics. You can't fix the roof when the foundation is crumbling. Make the body feel safe first, always.
That reframes everything. It's not a race to the top.
It's not a race. The real value of this map is just knowing where you are and what you need in that moment. It gives you focus.
So, a final thought for everyone to take with them. Maybe you don't need to try so hard to be the highest, most enlightened version of yourself all the time.
Maybe you just need to focus on making sure you never relapse into the person you've worked so hard to move beyond.
Maintaining that level 3 and 4 baseline is the real work.
That's the key. And speaking of keys, next time we're going to talk about why some people do all these things and still get stuck. We're going to be exploring the hidden human frequency codes.
And we'll get into the deep science of why that simple feeling of safety from level 1 is the single neurological key that unlocks everything else. You won't want to miss it.
Until then, use those 4 questions. Check in with yourself. We'll see you next time on The Dirk Dive.